Notre Dame football is coming off a very interesting offseason, which saw Brian Kelly leave to take the LSU job and defensive coordinator Marcus Freeman take over as head coach. The Marcus Freeman era will have a very interesting start with the opening game of the season on the road against Ohio State. They will also have a brand new starting quarterback after Jack Coan graduated. Will this team be able to make a run at the college football playoffs, or will they fall flat this season? Let's talk about that. Notre Dame is coming off a strong season, going 11-2, beating teams like Purdue, Wisconsin, and USC throughout the season. Quarterback Jack Coan threw for 3,150 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions, while senior running back Kyron Williams rushed for over 1,000 yards and 14 touchdowns on the ground. During Freeman's first year as defensive coordinator, the defense allowed 19.6 points per game, and the Fighting Irish took on Oklahoma State in the Fiesta Bowl. Unfortunately, they lost 37-35. Chaos ensued leading up to the game, with Brian Kelly leaving to take the LSU job, and the Fighting Irish promoted Marcus Freeman, which looks to be the right decision with how the team believes in him. Things looked even better when offensive coordinator Tommy Rees decided to stay at Notre Dame as well. The Fighting Irish will have brand new offensive position coaches, and Al Golden replaces Freeman as defensive coordinator and linebacker coach, while Al Washington took over for longtime line coach Mike Elston. The Athletic's Pete Sampson writes, Freeman has seemingly hit all the right notes, except for the second half of his head coaching debut in the Fiesta Bowl when Notre Dame collapsed against Oklahoma State. There is little doubt around Notre Dame that it made the right move promoting Freeman. The program recruiting is trending beyond the ceiling set by Kelly. That spring game drew the largest crowd since Jimmy Clausen's freshman year, and in an era of player movement and transfers, Notre Dame's roster seems stable despite near total staff turnover. Going into the season, the Irish are one of the more interesting teams to keep an eye on. Coming out of spring practice, it looks like Tyler Buchner will be the starting quarterback. Buchner was unable to play in the spring game due to an ankle injury that, according to The Athletic, occurred when he stumbled down the stairs after meeting with his history professor. Sampson writes, it was an awkward end to what felt like a smooth spring for Buchner, a run-first change-up quarterback as a freshman who was growing into something more well-rounded as a sophomore. Rees had liked what he'd seen, as did Freeman. Drew Pine struggled throughout the spring when it came to decision-making and interceptions, which may have crushed his hopes of winning the starting quarterback job. Notre Dame also has some questions when it comes to the running back position, as the Irish will be replacing Kyron Williams and saw possible starter Logan Diggs suffer a torn labrum during the spring game, which may cause him to miss the season. Chris Tyree missed most of the spring with an ankle injury. He is viewed as a speedback with home run possibility. Audric Estime is the power back in the room, and then there is Jadarian Price, a mid-year freshman who impressed during spring practice. Price may be the most well-rounded running back skill set-wise in the room, but is the least experienced. When it comes to the wide receivers, sophomore Lorenzo Styles looks to be the potential star after having 8 receptions for 136 yards and a touchdown in the Fiesta Bowl. Captain Avery Davis suffered a torn ACL during November and is still recovering from the injury, and Joe Wilkins suffered a Lisfranc break in his right foot, which puts his future in doubt. Braden Lenzy may need to step up, with Dion Colsey, Jaden Thomas, and incoming freshman Tobias Merriweather rounding out the room. Who will become Buchner or Pine's go-to receiver remains unanswered. Junior Michael Mayer might be the go-to guy and may be a future first-round draft pick next spring. He has the potential to rewrite the tight end record book this upcoming season. Sampson writes, Mitchell Evans and Kevin Bauman offer cover if Mayer needs a break, but he almost never does. When it comes to the offensive line, Jarrett Patterson returns at center, but may be moving to guard after a torn pectoral muscle suffered in weight room training and an impressive spring by Zeke Correll. There's also Josh Lugg and Andrew Kristofic at the guard position, and Rocco Spindler may be getting a look as well. At tackle, Joe Alt and Blake Fisher look to be the starters. I just want to take a second and ask, if you are enjoying this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more college football content. Also, let me know which team you are most looking forward to seeing during the 2022 season in the comment section below. On the defensive side of the ball, Notre Dame will have its third coordinator in 3 years, but there was a strong foundation built by Clark Lea and Freeman, and Golden looks to build from that. It is a very experienced unit, which could lead to the Irish finding a lot of success. Isaiah Foskey returns and could be a future first-round pick, and will be teaming up with Riley Mills and Justin Aide-Malola. Those three look like a great rotation, but they may be looking for a fourth member of the rotation. Jason Aide-Malola missed spring practice but looks to be the leader of the interior defensive line. They added Harvard transfer Chris Smith and Howard Cross, as well as Jacob Lacey return as well. Jack Kaiser and Maris Liafeu look to be the starting linebackers this season, leading a veteran group. J.D. Bertrand missed the spring after a wrist injury, but could also play the interior position. 5-star freshman Jalen Sneed and Prince Coley may also work into the rotation. When it comes to the safety position, the Irish added Northwestern and 2022 All-American Brandon Joseph, who could be teaming up with Raymond Henderson, DJ Brown, or Houston Griffith. Sampson writes, a deep cut at safety and former wideout Xavier Watts, who was ultra productive as a spot player last November. If the Notre Dame defense has a weakness, it would be the cornerback position, which was exposed in the Fiesta Bowl. Cam Hart and Clarence Lewis will need to step up against Ohio State, as they are likely the starters, while Tariq Bracy is looking like the likely nickel after a strong spring. According to The Athletic, the wild card is mid-year enrollee Jaden Mickey, who was so impressive during the spring practice that he will be pushing for immediate playing time with an outside shot at starting later in the season. The roster impressed last season, racking up 41 sacks, and could look to have even more this upcoming season. There are question marks surrounding the punter and kickers, so that is something to keep an eye on. Notre Dame should be able to put together an impressive season, but with a brand new coaching staff, there are a lot of things that remain unknown. They may be in the hunt for a college football playoff berth, with a double-digit win season a real possibility. They do have a tougher schedule, playing on the road against Ohio State, in Las Vegas against BYU, hosting Clemson, and closing out the season on the road against USC. ESPN projects 8.9 wins for Notre Dame, while Irish Wire believes they will have a 10-win season. What do you think? How well will Notre Dame do in their first year under head coach Marcus Freeman? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe for more college football content, and check out one of my other videos the algorithm knows you will love right here. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.